size 3.5 millimeter hook, and my yarns. So I'm going to be using these two colors and my stitch marker and my measuring tape. So to get started, your foundation chain is going to be the length you want for your top. So since it is an off shoulder top, I'm going to be measuring from above my bust down to where I want the top to stop, and that is going to be your foundation measurement. So your foundation chain is going to be the length of the top. So I want my top to be 9 inches. So I'm going to start by making a chain that's going to give me 9 inches. So because I'm working in two colors and the pattern is a step pattern, I'm going to be working in multiples of 5. So my foundation chain is going to be in multiples of 5. You can increase the multiples, so you can make it in multiples of 7, in multiples of 8, depending on how long you want each step to be. So I want the step to be smaller, so I'm going to be working in multiples of 5. So my foundation chain should be in multiples of 5, and it should give me 9 inches because that's the length I want. You can make it longer or you can make it shorter depending on the length you want for the top. So I did a total of 45 chains, which is in multiple of 5. Now I want my top to have a waistband so that it can cinch in around the waist. Now for the chain 1, in the first stitch, go in with 1/2 double crochet. I have 3 loops, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Go into the next stitch with 1/2 double crochet. Now you're doing 1/2 double crochet in 5 stitches. So I have 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I have 5 half double crochets. Continue with 1 double crochet in the rest of the stitches. So you're only putting 1/2 double crochet in 5 stitches, unless you want the waistband to be longer. You can do more, but I'm just going to stick with 5 half double crochets. Now in the 6th stitch, go in with 1 double crochet and continue with 1 double crochet in each stitch till you get to the end of the row. Okay, so I'm done with the first row. For the second row, I'm going to start by adding my second color, which is my orange yarn. Yarn over and pull through both yarns. Chain 1 with orange yarn or whichever color you're using. Now turn over in the first 5 stitches. So I'll be working in multiples of 5 like I said for each colors. So in the first 5 stitches, work in with 1 double crochet using the orange yarn. 1. So I'm carrying my blue yarn along because I'm still going to use the blue yarn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I have 1 double crochet in 5 stitches. Now I'm just going to drop the orange yarn and pick up my blue yarn. Continue with the blue yarn till you get to the end of the row. So you're still working with 1 double crochet in each stitch till you get to the last 5 stitches. So just continue with this till you get to the last 5 stitches. So I've come to the last 5 stitches and I'm just going to put 1/2 double crochet in each of the stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So each time you get to this end or you're at this end, you're going to work in half a double crochet in the first 5 stitches before you continue with your double crochets. Now chain 1 and the first 5 stitches, go in with your half double crochet. Now you're going to continue with 1 double crochet till you get to the 5th stitch after the orange yarn. So just to make it easier to see, count 5 stitches away from this first 5 stitches. So 1 2 3 4 5, and I'm just going to put my stitch marker on the 5th stitch. Now continue with your blue yarn and just continue with 1 double crochet in each stitch till you get where the stitch marker is. Now I've come to where my stitch marker is, and I'm just going to drop the blue yarn and pick up my orange yarn. Now in this stitch where the stitch marker is, go in with 1 double crochet using the orange yarn. I'm just going to remove the stitch marker now. Now continue till you get to the end of the row using the orange yarn. You have a total of 10 stitches. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. Chain 1. Now you're still going to continue with the orange yarn. In the first 10 stitches, go in with 1 double crochet. Now that you're done working your double crochets on the orange, in the next 5 stitches of the blue color, you're going to go in with 1 double crochet. So now I'm just going to carry my blue yarn along. 1 2 2 3 4 and 5. Now I'm going to drop my orange yarn and pick up my blue yarn, and I'm going to carry my orange yarn for the next 5 stitches. So in the next 5 stitches using the blue yarn, go in with 1 double crochet. 1 2 3 4 and 5. Put your stitch marker on the 5th stitch so that you know when you're going to switch to your orange yarn. So when you're coming from this way, you're going to drop the blue yarn and pick up the orange yarn. Now still continue with the blue yarn. I'm going to drop the orange now because this is where I'm going to pick it up. Now just continue with your blue yarn till you get to the end of the row. And when you get to the end of the row, you're going to work in your half double crochet. So from this point, you're just going to keep on repeating this till you have the orange yarn all the way down to the end of the row. So you're just going to keep on increasing. So like when you get to this point, if you're coming from this end, you're going to pick up your orange yarn and continue with it till you get to the end of the row. And then if you're coming from this end, you're going to continue and extend it all the way to the blue yarn. So I'm working in 5 sets. I really hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say, but just keep on repeating this till you have the orange yarn all the way down to the end. And don't forget that your last 5 stitches you're working in with 1/2 double crochet, not double crochet. So I'm going to do this till I'm done with my orange yarn, and then I'll show you what to do if I have to do anything different. Okay, so I'm done putting my orange color all the way down to where I have my blue color. Now I have a total of 10 rows. From this point, you're going to be repeating from row 1 to row 10. So you're just basically going to be repeating from row 1 to row 10 till you have the weight of the top you want. So I'm just going to start by chaining one with my blue yarn. In the first 5 stitches, go in with 1/2 double crochet because this is where the waistband is. So just put in 1/2 double crochet in the first 5 stitches. 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now you're going to continue with 1 double crochet in the rest of the stitches. So for the 11th row, you're only working with the blue yarn. So you remember the first row I just used my blue yarn, and then from the 12th row you're going to start switching the colors. So I'm going to do this till I have the width I want for my top, and then I'll let you know how many rows I ended up doing. But for now, just continue repeating what you did for row 1 to row 10. I'm done with both panels and I did a total of 36 rows. So I did 3 sets, 1, 2, 3, which is 30 rows, and then I did an extra 6 rows to get my measurement. So I did a total of 36 rows for both the front and the back panel. Now what you want to do is you want to stitch the 2 panels together on both sides, which I already did. I just chose the ruffle part of the top to be the back. Now I just stitched both sides of the top to join the 2 panels together. Now what you're going to do is you want to work on the sleeves and the ruffle part of the top. So I marked off 6 stitches away from this end on the front panel and attached my yarn on the 6th row. So sorry, 6 rows, not stitches. So I marked off 6 rows and put my yarn, tied my yarn on the 6th row. Then I chained 55 chains and attached it to the 6th row of the back panel. Now I did the same thing for this end. So I just marked off 6 rows. You can increase the amount of rows you want. You can also increase the amount of stitches you chain depending on how tight or how oversized free you want the top to be. So now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to start by chaining 1. In the first stitch, go in with 2 double crochets. 1, 2. Go into the next stitch with 1 double crochet, and the next stitch with 1 double crochet. Now go into the next stitch with 2 double crochets. So you're alternating between 1 double crochet in 2 stitches and then an increase in the 3rd stitch. So 2 double crochets in 1 stitch, 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. I'm going to do this till I get to the end of the row. So 1 double crochet in 2 stitches, and an increase in the 3rd stitch. So you're going to continue with this all the way along the the back panel, going to the next chain of the sleeve and until you come back to this end. So you're alternating between 1 double crochet in one double crochet in 2 stitches and an increase in the 3rd stitch. If you want the top to have more ruffles, you can do 2 double crochets in each stitch, or you can alternate between 2 double crochets in 1 stitch and 1 double crochet in the next stitch. It all depends on how you want the ruffles to be for the top. So I'm done with the top and I lost the clip showing where I did the shoulder panel of the top. So I'm just going to quickly explain how I did the ruffle part. So after you've done the sleeve, you've made a long chain to attach the sleeves for both sides. You're now going to attach your yarn and walk around. So you're going to go around the chain that you did with 2 double crochets, and then continue along the main body of the top on the front panel with 2 double crochets all the way to the second chain of the second sleeve, and then continue to the back panel. Then when you get to the end of the row, you're going to continue with 1 double crochet in each stitch. So only doing 2 double crochets for the first stitch to increase, and then from the second row down to the length you want, you're going to continue with 1 double crochet in each stitch. And that's it for the top. So thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope I see you guys in my next tutorial. Please don't forget to subscribe, and if there's any question you need to ask or there's something you find confusing, you can always leave a comment down in the comment section or reach me on Instagram, my DM, which is at Thisisfrances, and I'm definitely going to reply.